Hello, myself Dr. K.W. Pawar from Department of Botany, रयत शिक्षण संस्थाज राव बहादुर नारायणराव बोरावकी College, Srirampur, District Ahmednagar. Friends, today we are going to see in this video there is the plant growth regulator, and especially I am going to deal the gibberellins because previous video I talked on the auxins, cytokinin, then after there is the particular gibberellins. The topic is from class first year BSc. There is the botany paper second BO 122 principles of plant science, and from that this particular topic is here, that is the plant growth regulator and especially for the gibberellin. Today I am going to focus on the gibberellins, introduction about the gibberellins, then there is the properties of the gibberellins, and then there is the what are the practical applications of the particular gibberellins. So first of all, there is the gibberellin first discovered by the Japanese scientist Kurosawa is the first scientist who discovered the particular gibberellin. He was working with the rice seedling disease, and that was infected by fungus Gibberellia fujicoria. He was working with the particular rice or he was working with the rice seedlings, and he observed the disease Gibberellia fujicoria disease was he observed that time, and from that he discovered the particular gibberellins. Due to the infection, what will happen in the particular disease? Due to the infection, plant become tall, very thin, and there is the particular seedling disease. Then Ubacta, this is another scientist in the year 1935. Ubacta in the year 1935, another Japanese worker. Both these are the Japanese worker. Another Japanese worker isolate the active substance or substance from the Gibberellia fujicoria. The scientist Ubacta isolate the active substance from the fungus, that is Gibberellia fujicoria, which was quite stable, and then it was called as the gibberellins. He isolated the substance and then it was called as the gibberellin. When we going to see the chemical formula of the gibberellins, C19H22O6, C19H22O6. This much is the chemical formula of this particular gibberellins. So the another scientist or another Japanese scientist in the year 1935, he isolated the substance, that is from the particular Gibberellia fujicoria fungus, and he named it as the particular gibberellins. Gibberellins are classified on the particular basis of structure as well as the function. The classification of gibberellin on the basis of structure and there is the functions. Okay, on the basis of the particular structure and functions, all gibberellins are derived from the 20 carbon end gibberellins. 20 carbon end gibberellins. All the gibberellins are discovered from this particular 20 carbon end gibberellin. All gibberellins are member of large varied family of constituents known as the terpenoids. Okay, so these are the all gibberellins, they are the member of the particular terpenoids. Therefore, gibberellins are the biosynthetically related to the carotenoids pigment. When we going to see the biosynthetic relation of the gibberellins, it will be the particular carotenoid pigments, sterols and other isopropyl derivatives. Okay, so all gibberellins have the common skeleton called as the gibbine ring. All gibberellins have the particular common skeleton and it is called as the gibbine ring. Then the gibberellins are named G1, from G1 so on up to there is the name of the particular gibberellins in order of their discoveries. Okay, so gibberellic acid, what we called Ga3, this is called as the gibberellic acid. Gibberellic acid was the first gibberellin. Okay, gibberellic acid was the first gibberellin to be structurally characterized. Okay, there are currently 136. What is that? 136 gibberellic acids identified from the plants, fungi and bacteria. From plants, fungi and bacteria. Okay, how many? There is the 136 gibberellic acids that are isolated from the plants, fungi and the particular bacteria. Okay, then what are the properties of the gibberellins? Next is what? Properties of gibberellins. Okay, so when we going to see the properties of gibberellins, produces, first property is that the gibberellin produces the extraordinary elongation of stem. Extraordinary elongation of stem. This is the first property of the gibberellin. There is the, it produces the extraordinary elongation of stem. It is caused by the cell division and elongation. It is caused by cell division and cell elongation. Okay, so extraordinary elongation of stem, that is caused by the particular cell division and elongation, and it is induced by gibberellic acid. Okay, gibberellic acid. So the first property is what? There is the extraordinary elongation of the particular stem, and it is caused by the cell division and cell elongation. Cell division and cell elongation, and it is particular induced by the gibberellic acid. Then next property is of what? There is the one of the most striking effect of the particular gibberellic acid is the reversal of dwarfism. What is that? Reversal of dwarfism in many genetically dwarf plant. In many genetically dwarf plants. Okay, so what is that? There is the one of the striking effect, one of the important effect of this particular gibberellins, or what we call gibberellins. There is the particular is the reversal of the dwarfism in many genetically dwarf plant. Okay, so reversal of dwarfism in many genetically dwarf plant. Then next property of the particular gibberellin is what? There is the gibberellins, or what we call it induce, or it can induce, it induce formation of, it induce the formation of seedless fruit. Okay, here it is again the important property. What is that? It can induce the particular formation of the particular fruit without fertilization. This is important, that what is that? The formation of fruit, or it can induce the formation of the particular fruit without fertilization. Then it can break the, another property of the gibberellins, what? Break, it can break the dormancy. Okay, another property of the gibberellin is that there is the, it can break the dormancy, especially in case of the potato tubers. It can break the particular dormancy of the potato tuber. So these are the properties of the gibberellins. Then there is the, what are the practical applications of gibberellin. Okay, so here there is the practical applications of gibberellin. First of all, there is the seed germination. Friends, there are the many practical applications of the gibberellin. First, there is the, in case of seed germination. Okay, first practical application is what? It is useful for enhancing the germination in case of seed requiring, enhancing the particular germination in case of seeds requiring cold treatment or light. In case of seed require cold or light. Okay, so this is important one, that is what? It is useful for, or gibberellins useful for the enhancing the germination in case of seed required cold or light. Then another one property is the breaking of, another one practical application of the gibberellins, that is the breaking dormancy and stimulating growth of dormant bud. Breaking dormancy and stimulating growth of dormant buds. Okay, so this is another practical application of the particular gibberellins. When solution of gibberellins of particular concentration, when solution of gibberellins of particular concentration, when solution of gibberellins of particular concentration is applied to the dormant bud, applied applied to the dormant bud. What will happen when the solution of the gibberellins of particular typical concentration or what we call particular concentration applied to the particular dormant bud of evergreen deciduous trees, especially for the evergreen deciduous tree, buds will sprout. What will happen? Sprouting of buds takes place. For example, for instance, there is the example of the, in case of dormant bud, there is the grapes, citrus, apple, cherry, grapes, citrus, apple, cherry. There will be the sprouting of the particular dormant bud when there is the specific concentration of gibberellins is applied on that particular bud. Then next application is that induction of flowering. Induction of flowering. This is another important application as far as the flower is to be concerned. Here there is the treatment of gibberellic acid or treatment of gibberellic acid promote the flower in the particular long day plant. Long day plants under the short day condition. Under the short day conditions. Okay, so treatments of gibberellic acid promotes the flowering in long day plant under the particular short day conditions. Treatment of the particular when gibberellic acid is treated to the particular cucumber plant, or a treatment of gibberellic acid to the particular cucumber plant promotes the formation of the male flower, and that is useful for the hybridization. Okay, when it applied on the cucumber, then there is the formation of male flower, and that is used for the particular hybridization. When it applied on the maize, and it promotes exactly opposite, it promotes the particular female flower. Thus there is the one can yield the more amount of the yield. Then there is the rooting. Next application is what? Rooting. Okay, GA or gibberellic acid inhibit the root initiation. What is the role? Inhibit the root initiation. Okay, gibberellic acid inhibit the root initiation and the stimulation of the particular root caused by the auxin. Stimulation of the root caused by the auxin is also concentrated. So the cuttings are not treated with the gibberellic acid. Okay, because there is the inhibition of the particular root takes place. Then there are the again many applications, practical applications of gibberellic acid. There is the use in the, as I told you, stem elongation. Stem elongation is another practical application. It promotes the extraordinary stem elongation of the particular stem. Then fruit setting and the particular growth, there is the use of the particular gibberellic acid. Sometime when there is the it is used in the particular suppose for instance trigonella, when it is applied on the leaf, there is the expansion of the particular leaf takes place. Means what? The practical application of the gibberellic acid in case of leaf expansion. Then there is the pollen grains or pollen germination. When it treated with the particular pollens, it treated with the gibberellic acid, there is the germination of the pollen grain takes place. Then it induces also the parthenocarpy. As I told you, gibberellins can induce the formation of the seedless fruit without there is the particular fertilization. Okay, so these are all the practical application, and this is all about the particular gibberellins introduction. Then there are the properties, and then there are the practical applications of the gibberellins. Okay, thank you.